everyone, happy Mardi Gras. This is Janet Wakeland with Remarkably Created, and what we're going to be doing today and tomorrow is presenting the spring catalog and celebration to you in small little snippet videos. You'll have a video on the hour at 9 today, 10, 11, 12, and 1 today, and then 9, 10, 11, and 12 tomorrow. What we'll be doing is looking at products in order from the front to the back. And with each one of the videos, I'm also going to share a tip that I used for creating some of the samples that I'm showcasing in that hour's video. So just a little bit of fun. Pretend that you can catch these. One of the fun things about Mardi Gras, of course, is all of the parades, the glitter. I'm in my element down here. A lot of the parade crew members have something called the glitter room because they're always bedazzling something and decorating. So I'm absolutely in my element. We head to our first parade today. So actually 2 parades today. And so a lot of fun. And we'll be showcasing and sharing some of the Mardi Gras spirit throughout the season that ends on February 21st. So let's go ahead and let's get this camera turned around and let's get us started. So as a quick reminder, I have a gift with purchase offer as part of this launch party. It is valid through the 9th when the website closes, when Stampin' Up's done with business at midnight Mountain Time. And you'll get one of our new mini brushes. These are so cool and they're so much fun to get the ink kind of blended in a smaller area and to maybe blend more colors without, you know, the bigger surface of this. But you'll get one of each with your purchase through my website, and details are posted for you. And the catalogs that we're referencing that went live on the 5th is the Celebration catalog and the Spring catalog. I've already done a presentation on the products, and if you come back at 8 o'clock tonight, I'm doing Celebration Sundays where we look at ideas with all of the available products in here. So after you're totally inspired this morning with new product and you like, just, I gotta shop, I need it, I have to have it, make sure you check out what you can get for free with your qualifying purchase. So we're gonna kick off here. And again, I said we're gonna work front to back. Oh, and just real quick, I was like, why is this so lumpy? I forgot about that. This is by no means all of them, but throughout the weekend, you'll have a chance to win new embellishments from this catalog. I have a whole random assortment of them showing up in my boxes on Monday. And all you need to do is comment, engage, share, invite your friends anytime until the 10th. So we're going to give you time. I know that there's always lots happening in our lives. We're really busy, so I don't want to hold you hostage to watching a video all day. Come back anytime, click up on the media tab or the 3 little dots, or simply just scroll down. All of the videos will be numbered, video 1, video 2, and so on. And then the engagement posts are labeled as well, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So just look for those, and then the winners will be posted on the 12th. So back to the catalog now that it's not lumpy anymore. Something else that I did leading up to the launch of the catalog is I did a video specific to each suite. So I'm not going to reinvent the wheel and bring out all the products for those. What I'll do is I'll create one post that links you to all 8 of those videos. But for those of you that are seeing me for the first time, Stampin' Up has amazing products, and one of the hallmarks of Stampin' Up's products is their coordination. The coordination between stamps and dies, colors and papers, embellishments, all of that kind of stuff. In our catalogs, we do something called a suite of products. It's a coordinated suite that has an amazing I want it all button. So if you're like, I like it all, I don't even want to think, just put it all in the cart. It has an I want it all button. If you're like, oh, you know what, I'm not really a hearts girl, but I love gingham, I need this, you can definitely order anything individually, okay? It does not have to be the I want it all, including the bundle. The bundle saves you 10%, which means if you hit the I want it all button, that's including that 10% discount on the bundle. But if you just want the punch or just want the stamps, again, you can do that as well. Throughout the catalog, when you look at the papers, it's going to show you the featured colors. These are Stampin' Up's colors that we have inks for, we have cardstock for, we have markers for. In many cases, we also have blends for. And also, if you're looking for coordinated embellishments and things, you can look for these colors. So again, we've already featured it, but let me just bring at least the samples back in for you. So, with love. I had said when I did the first video that the first thing I saw when I saw this punch was an angel. And this fine glimmer paper, guys, is beautiful. And then just using some squares. Nice way to showcase, show off paper. Nice way to use your scraps. And then this was just torn, okay? There is not a die for that heart. I simply tore it. So easy, easy peasy. So moving on in this morning's presentation, we have the, not the country bouquet, but we have the So Much Love. And I'm not going to have samples for every one of them. Instead, some of these samples will be integrated throughout the presentation and I'll reference back to them. But in this case, you're going to have dies to cut out the words. And think of the sending smiles in the annual catalog. This is a perfect match. Okay, they go really, really well together and you're going to have some amazing sentiments. What we are going to focus on for just a second is the Share a Milkshake bundle as well as these fun cats. But let's pull in the, you know what, let's do the cats first and then we'll end with a demonstration and some looks at this. So the love cats, okay? Let's look at some fun samples with our lovey-dovey cats. So I love hanging out with you. And my new favorite thing now is to stamp on watercolor paper and just run a wet water painter over it to kind of give it more of a realistic dimensional look. Look at those kitties and then look at their eyeballs. I knew I was not going to get through this catalog without putting the little fun eyeballs on these cats and on the owls. So thankfully I have a stash of all kinds of sizes in here in the studio. So we used our animal print paper. There's the wire from the On the Farm designer paper. And I love hanging out with you. This is a set of dies that you're going to see me use frequently. I love these dies. They're in the annual catalog. They're called Picture This. And you're going to just see so many ways throughout the next 2 days where these were used as well. So when you have questions about any of the product, or if you personally just would like a little personal shopping assistance with, hey, I'd like to buy this, what do you recommend goes with that, simply email me or message me if that works. And also, I'm not going to make every single card that I'm going to show you. I've made well over 100 cards in the last 2 weeks or so. And so if you see a card that you're like, I want a tutorial for that, I would love for you to make that card step by step, give that card a shout out in the video below too. I will be looking for those things to help me plan my upcoming videos throughout the month. So there's our sweet little kitties there. Then playing with that animal paper still. Any of you got sweet little granddaughters that love pink? Any of you love pink? But this is the grandkid set from the annual catalog as well. Created a tag with more of that animal print and the kitties just hanging out ready to wish your sweet granddaughter a happy Valentine's. Played with the webbing, just trying to play with different layouts. That's hopefully one of the things that you'll see is a different way to create a card front. But the other thing that you're going to see if you pay close attention is repetition of layouts too, because once you have a good layout, repeating it with different products is a great way to save yourself some creative time kind of coming up with the idea, but they can look amazingly different if that makes sense. So again, you're going to see some of those things repeated. Head over heels, just fun open circle, playing on the head over heels paper, real clean, real quick, real simple. Little black kitty in here. And so just some fun ideas with those cats, okay? And this one doesn't even have to be Valentine's. I love hanging out with you. I mean, I can easily send that to my daughter. I can send that to some other friends and things like that. So just some fun things for you. So now let's take a look at the milkshake. This one is so much fun. Here you have Life is Sweeter with You, Celebrate, You're the Cherry on Top, Be My Valentine. And a great set that cross-coordinates with this one really well is the cherry set in the annual catalog, because you're going to have the great big word suite. You're going to have a really large fun cherry to work with and things like that. But in this case, you have dies that will help you create floats or milkshakes, whichever you want to call them. I was never somebody who was into floats per se. And let's get all of them. You have the little spoon. Mine's kind of a hot mess because of the way I've been playing here for just a second. You've got your topper here, your topper, and then you have an element. Let me pull them up out of the light. I'll get that adjusted for the second video. And so you've got pieces that you can cut. Oops, and I missed one. There we go. This is actually this little cup right here. So you're going to be able to die cut a lot of them. This piece here builds a straw. And then you have some bonus pieces. You have some fun hearts. You're going to be able to cut a whole bunch of different hearts. We're going to put this together, and we'll talk a little bit about this piece right here. This makes you a fun waffle cone. And I don't know what I like more, eating a waffle cone or smelling waffle cones being made. How about you guys? And then these are actually going to create toppings for the ice cream. So you think about hot fudge, think about that hard chocolate that, you know, solidifies. And then you just have a fun little extra piece here that creates a mesh-like background that you'll actually see me use on lots of other things. So let's pull in some pieces and let me give you a few more tips about these dies. And let's put those off to the side. Here we go. Okay, so I just have a whole bunch of pieces, which is something that I will do a lot of times when I have new dies, is I'll just grab my scrap bin and I'll start playing. So for example, this is the Hues of Happiness designer paper, but isn't that gonna make beautiful raspberry sorbets? Isn't that gorgeous? And in here, you can see that when this big piece cuts, it cuts a little slit. And what's cool about that little slit is that's going to easily allow you to put your spoon in. You don't have to make a slice that's kind of funky and weird. Or you're going to be able to, where is it at? Put a straw in that hole. And you'll see some samples with that. So you have that slit already happening just like that. These straws, I was lazy. Instead of creating my own straw, I just grabbed scraps of designer paper, and we happen to have some fun, really cool striped paper in the Dandy Designs that's available for celebration. So that was fun to create those. So this is what this die looks like when you run it through. It does texturize and it does fold. Now, one thing that I did learn about this is you can only fold it one way, okay? If you fold it from the left to the right, it overhangs a bit. So this is meant to be the top half, and it'll instantly be known to you the moment you start to fold it. And what I found works for me really well when I was working on these, and of course, there's a whole new sheet, this works, is I simply, just as you see here, put a dimensional and then folded it over and then let that kind of create a little bit of depth. Now, I did something else though before. So I ran this through and I was like, okay, that's nice, but it just doesn't pop the way I want it to pop. So can you see the difference a little bit on this one? It has some shading and some dimension. So what I did was on the actual die, so on this die here, I took soft suede and a blending brush and I just blended soft suede over the top of it, laid the cardstock down on it, ran it through, and then I was able to generate that nice kind of, to me, more of a realistic looking waffle cone look. And then you're just simply going to rinse this. Make sure you pat these dry. The ink doesn't stain or anything, but because this is metal, if you don't pat it dry, you can get some rust spots on them. So you don't want that, but you don't harm it by using ink on it. And actually you add value to it because now you're able to do even more with it. So let's, I have a card that I've started. So let's at least put this card together, showcasing some of the other fun things about it. So I just have, I have crumb cake cut 8.5 by 5.5. I have a layer of basic white that is 4 inches by 5 1/4. I have a piece of sweet sorbet that's 1/4, a little bit smaller than that, and I used the florets framelits, as well as to create the center. And oh, I'm going to peek and see if I can get this. This paper here is actually host paper from the annual catalog, which you can use your shopping dollars for. And you can always host your own order. So we can do one of two things. We can put a sweet ice cream cone, waffle cone. I had waffle and ice cream stuck in my head at the same time. They're one and the same, except for waffle cones taste much better than your average ice cream cone. So let me grab some of the pieces that I have here. Let's see what we've got going. Okay, so what I found is this is actually too big. So let me hold this up. Let me put it on the back of here. This by itself is actually just kind of too big, and if you put it in sideways, it doesn't look the way that I want it to look, like multiple scoops. So what I found is I do put this on first, and let's just add a little bit of adhesive here to the back. And it's going to be contrary, isn't it? Yes. We're going to put a little bit of adhesive here on the back. So I do put that on first. And then I do take a smaller piece that's been cut, and I'll adhere that, and I'll put that, kind of tuck that down inside. So now I have my 2 scoops, just like that. But I put this piece on first, and then that one, it helps me with the layering. Some other things that I found fun when I was working with these, and you'll see them on samples, is to emboss them so that it's shiny. Kind of, you know, ice cream kind of has a creamy look to it, an icy look to it. So I did find embossing it worked really, really well. And same thing here. You can see where we've embossed this one. So let's go back to what we were working on and put this together. A little dimension. I have a puppy bumping me for attention, and he's not going to get any because the fool decided that my leftover king cake that I made the mistake of not putting in the fridge, he was going to have as a treat and save me from myself. So he's kind of in hot water right now. Thankfully, we'll be doing some king cake tasting after the parade today at a party that's being hosted as part of the fun in the little town of Mandeville beside us. And I should have done this first. Sorry about that, guys. Okay. Well, pretend like I put this in first. So you have your little spoon. We're going to have our little thing. And then you have just that quick, sweet little sorbet. Now, one other thing, there is another stamp that it took me a few minutes to figure it out, but it does add dimension to the cup, okay? And so I could have used that cup instead as well. So whether you're doing a little cup of sorbet or whether you're doing an ice cream cone, you've got so many fun pieces that you're going to want to play with. So let me give you a little bit of inspiration with these products. So this one involves some voting, okay? So are you a chocolate fan or are you a vanilla fan? In my family, I am the only one who eats different flavors of ice cream. Well, no, now I have a son-in-law who likes different flavors, but my family is purely vanilla. And so I get all of the fun ones. But are you chocolate or a vanilla fan? And the best way to get through things is together. Something else I'm having fun playing with is the pearlescent paper from the annual catalog. A lot of these products really call for it, and it does coordinate with the By the Bay or the Seaside Bay. So there you go. So chocolate or vanilla, give us your vote. Orange sherbet was my favorite growing up. I loved orange sherbet, still do. But it was my favorite. Here I can see where we made it shiny, just a plain white bowl. Designer paper to kind of pull in the look. Life is sweeter with you. Getting a little more. Now this is that set here. So I told you we'd be showcasing it. This is the Much Love. So I have Love You die cut from that. And Nobody Gets Me Like You. So that could either be the ice cream that doesn't get you, or it could be the person that you're or gets you. So it's either the ice cream that gets you or the person that you're sending it to, right? It can be either one. But we have triple scoops here, and now you can see how we added the topping. We added a cherry, and I love silver embossing the spoon instead of having a cheap plastic white spoon, right? We're going to be environmentally friendly and have reusable silver spoons. And then just pulling in designer paper from the annual catalog to pull that one together for you. And we'll be posting samples in the coming days and weeks in that album. Real simple, didn't put in a greeting on this, haven't decided what I want it to say yet. Used a tag. We've got chocolate or espresso. There's a great ice cream called Marsh Mud at Chincoteague. And then we have our float. This is the Around the Bend. You'll see that in an upcoming afternoon video, and happy birthday. So each one of our videos will be kind of the same. We'll talk about product in a certain section. I will showcase samples for you with some of the sets in that section, and then I'll share a tip or so with some of the products. So hopefully you enjoyed the first video. I'll see you back here at 10 o'clock for video number 2. Thanks, guys.